What's up, everybody? So today's video is pretty much just some clips I took on my iPhone around my house, and it's on how to accommodate your home, or if you're like planning to do some renovations. Give you guys kind of some ideas on things to do because this is the fourth house I've lived in since my injury, and kind of know like what I need. If you're looking to build a new house, that's probably the best option. But if you want to live, like I live in Fort Lauderdale, so if you want to live close to the city and close to the beach, like where I live, there's really not a lot of development going on because everything's already built. So you gotta buy a house and redo it, which is what I did. And just the main idea is you just gotta look for when you're looking for this house, you got to look for a lot of space, which is kind of like my house is the big rectangle, and with rooms off to the sides. Or make sure that when you're looking at a place that you be able to take down some walls to make the space wide open because it's really hard to manage and be in a house that's really tight and you're always having to watch where you go. In my house, I can pretty much zip around wherever I need to go. It's really wide open, and you'll see that in the video. Thresholds are another thing. I made sure that my house didn't have any thresholds when I got in or out of the back of my house. Those are all even, and keep a budget in mind. Kind of when I was looking at my house that I bought, and I kind of knew what the price was going to be, but there's like a certain amount I was willing to spend. So you have to kind of find the house. You might have to sacrifice a couple of things, so that way you're not looking at a house that costs as much as your budget because you're gonna have to do some renovations and you really got to stick to that. And I kind of went a little overboard on some things, but in the end, it all turned out good. And I plan on being here for a while, at least until it's just me and Jasper, until I'm down to one dog, and maybe I'd move into like a high rise or something like that, closer to the city or the beach area. Um, Other than that, I'm gonna paste all the clips that I took together, and you'll be able to check it out. And if you got any questions for me or stuff like that, always drop me an email at dansjawsurgery@gmail.com, and I'll be always answering emails for you guys and stuff like that. So enjoy it, and my next video is either gonna be on call playing video games or uh, emptying your leg bag and Foley catheters and all that shit. So peace. Okay, guys. So this is the front of my house, and I'm just gonna give you guys a brief overview on some of the things that I've done to make this house accessible for me. It was kind of accessible, but not idealistically accessible. First thing we're going to come to is this front porch, and I'm just going to kind of highlight the things that I did rather than go through the whole house. This front porch was only up to where that step was, so we put a step there and then raised the porch and put this ramp on here. And this ramp is actually on a very short incline, so it's really not I don't have to tilt my chair back or anything or worry about losing my balance when I'm going up or down it because of the way it curves, and it's kind of a good long stretch for the distance that it is. And the reason why we raised the porch was because I wanted to have no threshold going into the house, and it's perfectly flat, no threshold at all. And so I'm going to take you next into the kitchen. Okay, so this is my kitchen. Off to the left, it's just a door that goes out to the garage, but if I back up, I can give you kind of a full view here. Okay, so this wall was opened up a lot, the wall was about as big as that doorway right there, and it came really hard to get into, and there was really thick tile in there. So they removed the tile on the flooring, and there's this smooth terrazzo underneath it. They polished it off, and it's really a big help not going over all those bumps. And the tile actually ran into the family room back there and into my game room. All of that was removed. No way I was going to go over all those bumps and stuff like that every single day. I got my little my little things on there for Jasper to open the drawers for me, the main drawers that I go into. So yeah, the kitchen was completely redone. There was cabinets on that wall right there. We took them all out, and it's just really big and wide open. And now we're going to go to the back porch. Okay, so before these French doors were here, there was just a window on this back wall. I'm going to kind of go back to give you guys a broader scope. It was just a big window. We took it out, put the French doors in. I keep saying we. I took it out. And put these French doors in. And once again, you can see that the transition from inside to outside is completely smooth. They have, I'll show you the ramp that they put. Because that door is actually lower than this door, so the porch would have been uneven. So they built me that little ramp right there. It's basically just a small incline up into the house. I can get in that way too, but this whole back porch is new. It's really wide open. There's really nothing on it other than this thing that I use to brush Jasper on. And out here there was a deck. The deck is gone, and underneath, or on the deck, was paver stones. And they were all coming up out of the ground. They were uneven, and it was just not too good out here. It was really hard for me to get around out here. The guy still has to put in some sod, but I took out a lot of the landscaping back here. Less maintenance and stuff like that for me to worry about. So that's the backyard. And when we come into the house here, you're going to see just how wide open this floor plan was. When you're looking for a house, make sure that the floor plan is really wide open. I mean, this is just a big rectangle. Other than that one wall right there, this is just a huge rectangle. And there's bedrooms off to the side and stuff like that. A couple bedrooms here, one over there. That's actually my game room, where I'll be making a video about Call of Duty and how I play it. Then we're going to go next into the bathroom, and that was the last part of the project. I also put in these things, they're called solar tubes. They're better than skylights because the top is a dome shape, and it captures a lot of sunlight from, all angles. And so here we go. Now going into my room is a little tough because it's actually pretty tight, but to make it any wider, we would have to have changed this whole wall, and it just would have cost a lot of money just to really get a couple inches of space, and it really wasn't worth it. So I just got to be a little careful. This is my bedroom. I really didn't do much in here, other than put my my Hoyer lift up in the ceiling and some lights. I also hung my TV up on the wall there, so I can go on my computer and watch TV without the computer being in the way. There's Jasper's pulley ties right there, and we're going to go into the bathroom now. So now I'm between the doorway into my bathroom, going into my bathroom, and try and give you guys a panoramic.
I didn't put the door on. I have the glass door, but figured it's just easier to not have it, and I can always put it up if I want it in the future. But this really took up a lot of money because all the plumbing needed to be redone. This was a closet and a bathroom. They took out the wall and just made it one giant room, and it was a really good decision because it's the most spacious bathroom I've had. I can come in here, turn around, and not worry about bumping into walls. There's no narrow hallways, and I guess the last thing I want to show you is I've done it too. In my last couple of houses, I've put on a wall-mounted sink, and the problem with that is you really need the sink to be in a counter, because if you see the space between, there's actually a shelf back there which creates a space, and then the counter which creates a space, and you're pulling the sink off the back of the wall, which brings it closer to you, and then you can really get under the sink and not worry about having your feet hit the wall. And that's really it. I really like that faucet. They just put it in the other day, and I can angle that at any position, so it's really easy to wash my face. And those were the renovations that I made to my house. And just remember,